August 2011. I remember that year because that was the very first time I ever visited Scotland, and it was nearly 10 years ago to the day today. And where I stayed at in Scotland was this station right here. This is Hillfoot railway station, and I have not been to Hillfoot for 10 years. So this is kind of a reunion in the making, because today on Sim0nTrains Railway Journeys we are revisiting Scotland for the first time in 17 months. Because after my last trip in Scotland, we've been involved in a pandemic which is still going on. But on this Scotland trip we are visiting a ton of railway stations, but in today's video we are visiting these railway stations: Bearsden, Hillfoot, Milngavie, Westerton, Anniesland, Hyndland, Partick. So come on board as we venture to Scotland. But first, before we do that, well, we have to travel here first. So in order to get up to Scotland, we got to travel there first. So you join me at Rugeley Trent Valley Railway Station. We are waiting for the 0709 London North Western Railway service, which will take us to Crewe. And they've got an hour's wait roughly at Crewe to catch the 0852 Avanti West Coast service, which will take me to Glasgow Central. So our first train to take us on the road to Scotland is arriving now to pick me up. So we're now made to Crewe, and there's some interesting events that happen at Crewe. They put us on platform 12 instead of platform 7. Usually the trains from London used to Northampton to Crewe terminate on platform 7. So I think the only reason we've been put on the 12 is because they're sorting out the back window. It looks like it's been smashed. But we're here for an hour to wait for my next train. Now my next train is the 0852 Avanti West Coast service, which will take me to Glasgow Central. So in the meantime, while I'm waiting for that train, I'm just going to hang around Crewe for an hour and get some breakfast. Yeah, I went to McDonald's.
Where?
So we made it to Scotland, okay, and we're now in Glasgow. This is actually the low level Glasgow Central Station, platforms 16 and 17. Now the reason I'm on the low level is because we're waiting for the 12:25 ScotRail service to take us to Westerton. Now I'm going to be changing trains at Westerton so I can get to the first station that I'll be filming at today, which is Bearsden, because we're going to be focusing first on the Milgaive branch. So we're waiting for our train to arrive now to take us to Westerton. So we're now at Westerton station. Now I'm not going to be filming this station at the moment, but we will be filming this on the way back from Milgaive. So this will be station number 4 I'll be filming at today. It's better to film on the other side because you're on the outer platform. We do have about 10 minutes here because we are waiting for the Milgaive train. Now the reason I'm on this line today is because I am planning to try and find 334006, which is in the Pride livery. And we are going to get it today, but I'm not going to tell you where. You're going to have to wait. So in the meantime, first order of business, I went to Greggs in Glasgow because I love these Scotch pie.
This is Bearsden.
So the first line we're looking at on this Scotland trip is the Glasgow and Milngavie Junction Railway. And our first location is Bearsden. Now this is ScotRail managed station and it has 2 platforms. To be honest, they all have 2 platforms on this branch. We're now moving on to the station history of Bearsden Station. Opened in 1863 by the Glasgow and Milngavie Junction Railway, but the station was built in the town of Enoch and Partick. As soon as the railway came to Enoch and Partick, the town changed its name to Bearsden, and the 3-letter station code is BRN. Also to point out Bearsden is that just south of this station here, it's single track to Westerton, but from just the south of this station here, just past Hillfoot, it's double track, it's like a passing loop. And then after Hillfoot, it's single track to Milgaive. Before we leave Bearsden station, is that right?
Bearsden, yep.
It's alright, Jordan's with me. Can't take Jordan anywhere.
Yep.
Right, before we leave this station, just want to have a look at this station building right here because this is wonderful to look at. But it's now a pub. The current station building is just a bit further down there. But we are leaving this station because we're going to be headed to the next railway station, which is Hillfoot. Now, Hillfoot, I'll explain when I get there, but this was the first location I ever went to in Scotland. So we're going to catch a train now to Hillfoot and we're going to do some filming at that location.
This is Hillfoot. Next.
This is the second station I've visited today on the Milngavie branch. Now this station here is actually, I've been here 10 years ago back in August 2011. Because August 2011 was my first ever trip to Scotland. And this is Hillfoot station. Because I stayed at a hotel 20 minutes from here. It's a ScotRail managed station and it does have 2 platforms as well. We're now moving on to the station history of Hillfoot Station. opened on the 1st of May 1900 when the North British Railway renamed the line as double track. The station is used in the BBC Scotland comedy series Bearsden, and the three-letter station code for Hillfoot is HFL. Looking at this station has brought me back some memories, because the last time I was in Hillfoot was 10 years ago, back in August 2011, but we are going to be moving on to the terminus of the line, which is Milgaive. So our train should be arriving now at 14:59, take us to Milgaive, and then we're going to have a look at this terminus station before we head back down the line to carry on doing some more filming. So we now reach the terminus of the Milngavie branch. This is Milngavie railway station. Milngavie. No cow, it's Milngavie, not Milngavie. Again, it's a ScotRail operated station, and yes, it has two platforms, but this is a terminus station.
Unless you're reading the exempt.
We're now moving on to the station history of Milngavie Station, opened by the Glasgow Milngavie Junction Railway on the 28th of August 1863 and was built with 3 platforms, but 1 platform has been removed. The double track line from Hillfoot was singled in 1990. The station is also the starting point for the 96-mile long walk of the West Highlands Way, a long distance trail to Fort William, and the 3-letter station code is MLN. Now unfortunately 334001 has arrived empty stock from Yoker depot. Now that was supposed to be 334006, the Pride train. Unfortunately I've done a unit swap, so I did say we were going to get 334006. Sadly we're not now, I'm afraid. So we're just waiting for one more train at Milgaive to arrive to terminate here. Then we're going to jump on this one to Westerton, which will be the fourth station we visited today. But travelling on the Milngavie branch, it has really been successful. Bearsden, I've got to pronounce that right or Jordan will get triggered, was a good location, but I think I was on the wrong side. Hillfoot was lovely to revisit again, but I was actually on the wrong side, but everything stopped there, so it was alright. And Milgaive, there's been no problems on the Milngavie branch, but we're now going to be doing like Westerton, Anniesland, Hyndland and Partick during the evening peak, so this is going to be interesting. So we're going to film this train coming in and then we're going to leave.
This is Westerton. This train.
So we made it back to Westerton now, but this time we've got Jordan back with us. Yeah, you can't really shake Jordan off, can you?
No.
No, we can't. Now, the reason I've stopped at Westerton is...
153s.
Yes, exactly, because we want to see a ScotRail Class 153, and there is one to speed through very shortly. The only problem is, though, they actually use Platform 2, but because Platform 2 is bi-directional. We're going to film some more trains because there's just one coming around the corner now, and hopefully try and get this ScotRail Class 153. So we're now moving on to the station history of Westerton Station. Westerton Station was opened by the North British Railway on the 1st September 1913. The station is also a junction for the Milngavie Branch Line, which we've just been on that line, visiting those three stations. And the three-letter station code for Westerton is WES. Also with Westerton Station, it's a ScotRail managed station, and yes, it does have two platforms. So as I mentioned in the blog, we still can't shake Jordan off.
Alright folks, how we doing? Still single by the way. For love.
But anyway, we will be leaving Westerton very shortly because we're going to be moving on to Anniesland. Now when we get to Anniesland, we'll be filming at our Anniesland. But then after Anniesland, the last two stations we'll be filming will be 30 minutes we'll be filming at.
Yes.
So Anniesland was the last station we'll be filming an hourly stint there. So our train should be coming in now to take us to Anniesland. Is it?
Second train.
Oh, it's the second trip. Still more trains?
17 on the air today, then we're on the Springburn last night.
We'll just film a few more trains and then catch our train then. So we're now at our next station, Anniesland, and as you can see it's a ScotRail operated station, but you can only see two platforms here. Is it two platforms? No, it's not, because there is actually a third platform right here for terminated services from Glasgow Queen Street that terminate here at Anniesland. These two platforms here are through services towards Partick and towards Westerton where we came from. So Anniesland has three platforms. We're now moving on to the station history of Anniesland Station. The line through Anniesland was opened as part of the Stop Cross Railway by the North British Railway. The railway station was added by the North British Railway on the 20th of October 1874 as Great Western Road. The station was renamed on the 9th of January 1931 as Anniesland. The line towards Maryhill closed in 1985 and was lifted 3 years later, but the line came back into use when it was relayed and reopened in 2005 when the Maryhill line was extended. And the three-letter station code for Anniesland is ANL.
The next train at platform 2 will be the 1750 carriages.
To be honest with you, filming at Anniesland can be a nightmare sometimes because you've got to be on this end. So you get the terminated services from Anniesland, but sometimes you just literally got to lift your arm over the fence to film the rest of this side. It's a nightmare, but it's okay. We've come down to the other end of Anniesland because we are going to be leaving this station very soon. We're catching the 1870 ScotRail service to take us to Hyndland. Now Hyndland, you get services by Yoker there, and you get services by Westerton. They all meet up at Downmuir, but it's more busy at Hyndland than it is at Westerton and Anniesland. So that's why we're having 30 minutes at Hyndland and 30 minutes at Partick. So our train should be arriving now to take us to Hyndland. So this is Hyndland Station, ScotRail operated station, but it has two platforms, but it is the Hyndland platform. And that's it really. Anyway, I can't speak much because there is trains arriving into Partick every second here. It's like rush hour. Well, technically we are in rush hour. We're now moving on to the station's history of Hyndland Station. Hyndland Station was opened on the 5th of November 1960, replacing the Stobcross Railway's terminus station. The reason the station opened in 1960 was when the line was being electrified and they replaced the terminus with the current station. Today's Hyndland Station isn't too far from Crewe Road Station, which had closed to passengers. And there will be a future video visiting some disused stations in the Strathclyde area, and Crewe Road Station is one of them. The 3-letter station code for Hyndland is HYN.
Please listen to further announcements.
Well, that was crazy at Hyndland. Anyway, we're moving on to Partick now, which are the last station we shall be filming at. But there is some problems with signalling systems that's happened on other lines earlier today, but I don't know if that's going to affect my filming at Partick or not. Also, what I want to mention with ScotRail is it's still mandatory wearing face coverings on the train, but I have the exemption badge, so that's why I'm not wearing a face covering. Anyway, Partick's our next stop.
This is Partick.
So our last station history of the day is Partick Station. Partick Station opened on 17th December 1979, replacing the North British Railway Station on Partick Hill, which opened in 1877. And you can still see that disused station from Partick Station today. When the station opened, it also became interchanged with the new Partick Subway station, which opened on the 16th of April 1980, and the three-letter station code for Partick is PTK. To be honest, since it's just damn busy at Partick Station, this is Partick Station. It's got rail operated and it has 2 platforms, and that's 334001 to go to Glasgow Central. So we now had half an hour at Partick Station, have we right, Jordan?
Yes.
Now, I was thinking of going back to Glasgow Central, low level, then walk it to my hotel, but he's actually thought of a better idea. At Partick, you get the Glasgow Subway. So we're actually going on the Clockwork Orange, so I'll go to my hotel room straight from this station. So we're going underground right now. So we're now on the subway platforms at Partick, just waiting for a train out of St. Enoch's. Well, this is something different and something I've actually missed. Summarising today's events in a hotel. And honestly, I have missed being in hotels. Because most of my railway journeys back ages ago used to be like different hotels, different locations, and I've missed this, to be honest. But we're not going to talk about getting up to Glasgow because, to be honest, nothing really major happened. It was just a change at Crewe, Glasgow, that was it. We actually got into Glasgow 4 minutes early. And then we went over to Westerton to change trains to get to Bearsden. Now I think I called it Bearsden or something like that. And when I said that to Jordan, he was not happy with it, so I had to get the pronunciation right. We're going to be there all day till I got the pronunciation right. Luckily I did, so it's Bearsden. It's like Bearsden. But we only got 5 trains out of there, which was pretty good, to be honest. Then we went to Hillfoot. As I mentioned with Hillfoot, we only went there 10 years ago. So I only did that station once because I stayed there for a week. Hillfoot was alright. After Hillfoot, we went to Milgaive. And that was also a good location. That was the first time I filmed at Milgaive as well. And after that, we went to Westerton. No problems there. Anniesland, there's no problems there, but like I said, you have to be on platform 1 and 3 to film the trains, and it's a bit difficult with the fence being so high. And then we went to, trying to figure out, it's been a long day, Hyndland. That was a really fast-paced half an hour, but the same with Partick. In fact, it was quite difficult to get the big clips in for like the station history and all that, but I managed to fit it in quickly. And then after Partick, went on the Clockwork Orange, the Glasgow Subway, to here in St. Enoch's. And that's it really. It's been successful. But with the Scotland plan, there's always one day that will mess up. But we don't know what day that is. But one day will mess up. Guarantee it. So if you like this video and also like the future Scotland videos coming up, feel free to like, subscribe, leave a comment down below. Thank you for watching. Stay safe, and I'll see you for the next Scotland video pretty soon.